So let's go ahead and get started. I see we have 41 signed on so far. Hopefully we'll get more as the morning progresses here. But good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in here this morning for this first time ever virtual formally called 4-in-1 training. We normally will go to Kingsville to do this meeting, but unfortunately because of the situation we're in, we're unable to do that. So we're going to try this virtually this year. For those of you that have not met before, my name is Eddie Bartneski. I serve as your district governor this year. I'm proud and honored to be able to have that opportunity. This morning we're going to be doing, as I mentioned, it's the former 4-in-1, but we thought we'd be a little bit more creative this year and try to change things up. And so we renamed this session, How Might We Lend a Helping Hand? And by that, we mean there's so many opportunities that we have out in our communities. This COVID-19 set us back from what we wanted to be doing, but we're not going to be approaching this COVID situation as a challenge, but we're going to look at it as opportunities to do good in our communities and in the world itself. And so we're going to look at these challenges and come up with opportunities of how we can lend a helping hand out in our community. And so this morning we put together a great lineup of ways that you can lend a helping hand with. This morning we're going to talk about the community giving, what type of projects we can do, and how to create awareness out in the public. And so I encourage everybody to log into these sessions. I think this morning we're also going to hear from our guest speaker from Pakistan that's going to talk to us about the polio efforts there in Pakistan. So that looks to be a great session. But I want to thank everybody that had a hand in putting this session together. Our district trainer, Dana Sisk, is online this morning. She's did a great job of putting all this together, so we want to thank her, and as well as Justin, our tech guru. He gets it done for us, and he's got the little smiley faces all over his screen right now. And Nancy Paulson, she's just wonderful in putting these things together for us as well. I know Dee Dee had a hand in it. Dee Dee's our district secretary, and there's a number of other people that have had a hand. So we want to thank each and every one of you, and I want to welcome each of you guys here this morning. We do have some past district governors with us here this morning. I see Debbie High's with us, Andy Hagan's with us, Ellison, I saw he was in here. Let's see if I can see any more here. Those are the ones I see so far. And then we have various other district leadership online as well. So we're here as a district to assist the club. That's our only function. Assist your clubs to be the best you can be. And so we want to offer our assistance. Also see Armando Chapa, he's our governor-elect. He's watching on to see what he's getting himself into for next year. So welcome, Armando. And so with that, I will not talk anymore. I'll turn it back over to Dana and her team, and we will get started with our sessions here this morning.
Thank you, Eddie. Welcome, everyone. I'm only going to take just a moment to tell you about the morning we have planned with, as Eddie said, several speakers lined up. We do have a couple of breaks built in. We try to design this so that if you're able to participate in just part of our morning and you have other commitments, you're welcome to do that. You're welcome to leave and come back. We're going to try to stick to our schedule pretty closely. I believe Justin may want to remind you of a couple of housekeeping items before we get started with our first speaker. Justin.
Thank you, Dana. And so we remind you, if you have not yet done so, to rename yourself. We ask that you do that with your first and last name and club name. If you don't remember how to rename yourself, you can hover over your own video tile. In the top right, you'll get a little blue rectangle with 3 little white dots. Click on that. It brings up a drop-down menu with an option to rename. Please and thank you. We also ask that you be fully present and that you turn your video camera on as respect to our presenters. That way they can speak directly to you in the audience. We also ask that you refrain from using the chat pane for socializing because our Presenters and moderators will be monitoring that for questions. That's all that we have for now, and we'll turn it over to our first presenters.
Okay, Kent, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and let you take it away from here. Thank you.
I don't know who I am. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. Good morning, Rotarians. I'm Kent Greer, your district governor nominee. And joining me today with this first session for how we might lend a helping hand is Jack Osbaugh. He's the past president of Corpus Christi Evening Club. So if we could go to the first slide, Justin, I'd kick it off. All right. This morning, we will search for several ideas regarding why we have become Rotarians and how we are motivated from a core belief in service above self. It is as much about our hearts as it is our minds that we become Rotarians and engaged, not just as members of a Rotary Club, but as Rotarians. So let's start with the vision for the future that Rotary has published. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. People creating change. People of action creating change. Rotarians are people of action. Justin? So Juan Lira is the head of our grant committee currently for the foundation. And the foundation district committee has put together quite a bit of reference material for your use and for your help. We were discussing today's presentations. He and Michael Dickerson will be following Jack and I in the next session. And we were talking about the Rotary Foundation and Rotary in particular and what it means to each of us. He mentioned 5 things. I took notes. 1, the fellowship, integrity, diversity, leadership, and service. And that's really true. When we join our Rotary clubs, we find fellowship with the other members of our clubs, that we actually meet together and find fellowship, and then we find purpose in what we're doing as Rotarians. Our clubs are the essential part of what Rotary is really all about. Everything starts with the clubs. The district and Rotary International itself are there to serve and strengthen the clubs, which means you as members of those clubs, and our purpose is service. So there's another powerful aspect of Rotary in assisting us with providing service. The foundation's mission is written right here under the bold type. The mission of the Rotary Foundation of Rotary International is to enable Rotarians to advance world understanding, goodwill, and peace through the improvement of health, the support of education, and the alleviation of poverty. The vision of Rotary, the mission of the foundation, enable us to find our own internal passion to be able to serve others above self. Justin, if you'll help me with that video. This is from Rotary International's foundation. I heard a click. That's a
The
good
internet is
sign.
blazing today. 1 second.
Sure. Looks good. No audio.
Can you hear it yet, Ken?
No, sir.
when you share the screen, there's a little toolboxes that you have to press, click in order to have sound.
Yeah, we have that. It's not sharing for a different reason.
All of these projects that you're seeing right now go throughout the world. They talk about the way in which we've helped with projects in Rwanda and all over the world, really. And it also mentions about Polio Plus and how close we are. If you'll give me the screen back for a second. And the situation is with Rotary Foundation. They've raised over 400, and I think it's $8 million this last year to help fight polio. We have declared this year, just several months ago, after 3 years of Nigeria being polio-free, the continent of Africa is now polio-free. And you know of the global grants that clubs together actually execute that create the other things that were shown there. I'm hoping that the next set of videos will give us some things to think about. We found a way to find fellowship even when we couldn't be together. Sometimes there's technical problems with that. That's okay. The situation is we have another video here that's shared to us from England and Ireland that talks about who we are as business people, managers, Rotarians, and our place in the world because we are Rotarians. So let's try that first video and see how it goes. Excellent.
Just waiting on YouTube now.
Español. Qué madre. Hace bueno.
That's not it.
YouTube is, give me 1 second.
Sure. We're in no rush. I might comment while Justin is working his magic, and he is very good at this stuff. I bowed out early in the process of our planning to let him handle that stuff. The blue heart that's there says Rotary, engage your passion. The idea of us being Rotarians and being able to make a difference in the world is part of what we are in our core values. The idea of service above self gives us a capability to have joy. The situation we're in right now, where we meet on a virtual basis, and for several months maybe didn't meet at all, and our fellowship was affected by that, was a situation where really, you think about it, as small businessmen in particular, we may be trying to run our operations on about half of the income that we normally have. And so the stress level becomes very difficult. We're thinking about our employees. We're thinking about our families. We're thinking about our businesses and our own personal net worth as to what's going on. The one thing that Rotary continues to provide for us is the joy of how we can serve others. So if we might, Justin, try that next video, if you would. It's from Laredo, New Generation Club. These are activities that are going on. You gonna try that again?
Are you hearing that, Ken?
Yes, sir. It's up, it's running. If you can hear me, can they hear me, Justin?
Yes, sir, they should be able to.
So anybody down in Laredo recognize anybody in those pictures? I saw somebody in the the Rotary Moto that's going to be operating on World Polio Day in October 24th and 25th. Yes, it looks like they have fun down in Laredo, don't you think? And they work hard too, I'd say.
Laredoans in action, serving our community.
Lupita. That new generation is a good-looking group. What do you think?
They're called Next Generation.
Next generation, sorry.
Yes, that's okay.
For me, everything's new. Martin. I think this talks a little bit about the vision, future vision of Rotary, don't you think?
Kent, do you want your Great Britain one, or are we skipping that?
We can do that. If you've got time for it, go ahead.
Maybe Great Britain is busy today. I think we're moving on.
Okay. I'm going to turn it over to Jack and wish him all the luck in the world, and Justin too. Thank you so much for listening. Do we have a perspective of what we can do as Rotarians? Do we know why we're Rotarians? It is about the heart. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Justin, if you would, let's slide on to the next video, please. I think some of you folks in Corpus Christi might recognize this.
Dr. Z.
And Mr. Aziz Momin, who is keynote speaker today in the first session. he is the one that belongs to the same Rotary Club.
Can we have you reveal your commitment to this young lady?
Saw her when I visited in Karachi, Pakistan, and since it released the video, there was so much outpouring of support to get her to the high school and beyond that. It's just amazing what a story when you tell as a Rotarian can do. It does wonders.
Well, I think that smile alone is makes what we do very important.
We provide 300 limbs free of cost every month. And so far, we must have done around 23,000. And this is a totally funded project of Rotary Club of Karachi. We have our own community center in which we take care of these people who come just not from all over Pakistan, but from Afghanistan also. And we give them meal, we give them everything, but we do not charge a single penny.
Thank you, sir. Could you roll on to the next video, Justin, please? This one's more in this continent here, or this hemisphere, I should say.
I think it's safe to say that we share to the border a situation where we have opportunities galore to be able to be of service and to help with those situations that can bring great peace to this world in a very troubled time.
And let's do this last video here, please. I don't believe we have sound on this one, but it's an example of bringing soap and water basically to a community and teaching a young man here how to maintain a better level of hygiene so that he stays healthy, has less issues as he grows up, and in fact, potentially may be able to grow up just because of better hygiene.
If I might
interpose here, this actually is part of a 3-school project to put toilets and sanitate fresh water into the schools, but also as part of Rotary's program, not just putting in hardware, but also teaching. So all the students and teachers are taught about hygiene, and this student is showing what he has learned as part of this training program for this new school hygiene program.
Now that's past District Governor Art Deitler. And when I served with him as an assistant governor, he told me that he and Carol had finished a water project down in Guatemala, same country where this young man is. And the night that they were celebrating finishing the work that they had, they were dancing. And he looked over his shoulder and saw all the smiles and the appreciation for what they had been doing. And it touched his heart. He decided at that moment that he wanted to be a district governor and move towards helping with the foundation. He's now our area coordinator for Zone 25B 29 for the Rotary Foundation. So thank you, Art.
I appreciate that.
Justin, if you'd move on to our next slide here. I think it's a video, actually, another video. We tried to incorporate quite a few videos in this slide deck showing the variety of service projects that we have done both internationally as well as close to home. And the things that we all can do to make the world a better place. This is some of our scholarship folks down in Costa Rica.
The funds for this project come from our district, and we provide for educational experience for these young people to go down for 2 weeks to provide these services for the men, women, and children of Costa Rica. And I think they really have a good time, but they work very hard.
Here's I think the first year of the military scholarship recipient. Something that's fairly new for us in Rotary. We have scholarship, but as a military scholarship. And if you would, Jason or Justin, excuse me, the last video, please. Try to keep us in a little closer time here.
What is normal? The phrase "the new norm" has been used quite a bit these days. It is defined as conforming to a standard, as usual, typical, or expected. But in a time where the unexpected is a daily occurrence, what is typical or usual is no longer a daily act.
I'm here for them 24/7. I've been doing it for 5 years since my husband passed away. I have a lot of supporters. I have my parents. I have my sister. She just drove up. And then I have, all the other people that were, there behind me all the way.
We must learn to adapt, to rise together to new levels, to show the people of the communities we serve that come what may, we will not be discouraged. We will not falter. We will not give up.
He is always saying, "Mom, everybody's always getting knighted. Is it because I'm special ed? Is it because I'm not smart?" And I said, "Baby, it's just, you have to show that you're improving. You have to show your character." I said, "But one day that'll happen." We thank you guys for all the work that y'all done with him.
You keep up your work, but I'm proud of you. So we press on. We innovate. We explore. We partner with some of the most compassionate, caring, and talented individuals we know. We push towards that new horizon together. Because we believe in the smiling faces of the ones we serve. Because we believe in compassion. in responsibility, in perseverance, in service. Because we are teachers, because we are knights, because we are Rotarians.
Here you gotta, yeah, go ahead, Kent, go ahead.
Why don't we pass it over to Juan and Michael to talk a little bit about service projects and how we can be effective within the district with funds that we receive through district designated grants and so on. Skip over that and just start up with
Sure, that'll keep us
Juan and
on
Mike.
time.